and related activities are ones the current administration appears not to be treating with kid's glove across the board, with the recent step being the raid on potential hideouts of criminals, which was done by the Abia State Police Command in collaboration with Umuahia North Mayor. We'll be looking at their efforts to restore absolute sanity to the roads and those designated flashpoints in the state capital, including their plans in terms of the gutters and trying to desilt them, and basically their plans going forward in some areas on the platform this morning. My name is Wisdom Thomas. I'll be your anchor person. I have with me in the studio Tochukwu Elowa. He's the Chief Press Secretary to the Mayor Umuahia North. Good morning. Good to have you on the program this morning.
Good morning, Mr. Wizzy.
Do that again?
Good morning, Mr. Wizzy. Good morning, Abians. Good morning, Umuahians. It's good to be here this morning.
All right, let's get started with that particular raid, the move by the Abia State Police Command in collaboration with your principal to look at some strategic points in the state capital which could potentially be hiding criminals who, of course, we know all they do is nefarious to, unleash mayhem on the good people of Abia State and Umuahia. Tell us about that particular move, what informed it, and what was the observation?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Wizzy. One fact nobody can actually neglect now is that Abia is gradually become the destination for investment and businesses. And Umuahia, the state capital, is not left out. The government at the state level and the local government are building infrastructures, and in order to attract business and investors into the capital city. But however, all this effort will lead to waste if security issues are not dealt with. And if you look at around that axis, that the Ishigate cooperative axis and the rest of them, these are the major, this is the heart of Umuahia. And over the years, this place has been known for den for criminals, especially there's a shanty. If you go towards Okigwe Park, behind the park, there is a major shanty. That place is a hub for drug peddling, and as well as that's where most criminal activities are planned and executed. So the mayor himself has taken it upon himself to ensure that criminality does not thrive in Umuahia, especially under his watch. So that shanty, the idea of that shanty will be brought down. Apart from even when it's been brought down, it's not going to be allowed to stay, so that people don't, after maybe dislodging them over time, they incubate and kick off again. So that place will be completely put into good use. The park itself, that's your Kigwe Park itself, will be extended, and some of those other parks, we're looking at putting a modern daily market around there, with also security points for security agencies around there to ensure that place is safe. The idea is to dislodge criminal elements. If you look, there's a tunnel there. That's why a place probably known as down below. From that place, if you're familiar with that territory, that area, if criminals get you at that point, especially in the night itself, you know too well it's better imagined than being experienced. So for the mayor, he's not leaving any stone unturned to ensure that that place is safe and secure for Umuahia residents. And he has not just done that alone. For the remedial effect, why he has actually written to some of those people who have properties around that area to see their location papers and to engage them. You know, this is a civil government, so everything will be done civilly. So there is a process. In the meantime, lights have been installed in the park so that you have visibility. There are security agencies around that area, while the long-time solution is being explored. In the temporary, we are putting in security that if you go to Okigwe Park in the night now, you see that businesses are not thriving even in the night as a result of the solar panel powered light that has been put in place. So for the mayor, it is zero tolerance to criminality and all drug peddling and all form of criminal activities within the state capital.
Apart from the areas you've mentioned, I mean, you were point blank in pointing out those areas. Are there other places that the mayor and those working with him explored because of the potential of those places being incubation for criminal activities? Are there areas you are going to look at, or you've already done that?
Well, for now, we've already done that. You see, the mayor is not doing it alone. He's collaborating with the security agencies led by the Commissioner of Police. So it's going to be a holistic approach. Umuahia can never be a safe haven for criminals. So every part, every nook and crannies of Umuahia where criminals used to use as a hub will be fished out, and they will be smoked out. Criminals will be weed off the capital city. So the capital city, for now, you saw even when the mayor spoke and the commissioner, they've read the riot acts to all criminal elements. It's time for you to leave, or you'll be decisively dealt with. So every part where we've seen that is a safe haven within the capital city will be taken out and ensure that criminals do not have a safe place to operate from.
I mean, there's no way we can leave this particular discourse if we don't mention Ishigate. You did mention that because the incessant presence of brothels across that area, that as well could be a hub for criminal activities or hideout to these criminals, perhaps before or after the execution of a particular unacceptable activity. Is the mayor of Umuahia North thinking of looking at those areas, possibly eliminating them? Is he thinking of that at all?
Mr. Wizzy, if you're familiar, like I just said, that Ishigate Cooperative Act is now. Anywhere criminality thrives, there is always a point of meeting. There's always a point, there's a place where people stay and plan itself. Now, if you're very familiar with Umuahia, behind that Okigwe Park, that shanty, there's a place called down below. That's mostly the escape route for criminals. Around that area, that is where most of those people stay. You know, originally, that place used to be a park for bicycle repairers in those days. Now you're seeing that bicycle is no longer a lucrative business. So those places have been let fallow. So it has become a safe haven for criminals who've gone to check that place, who've seen that place itself. This is where most of the major criminal activities you see within Umuahia and its environs, that is where most of these things are orchestrated and planned and executed. And you know, one thing that goes hand in gloves with criminality is drugs. That is this market for drug peddling of all forms itself. So once you take out that shanty itself, you're seeing that criminality, crime, especially around that within Umuahia itself, is going to reduce drastically. So that's why he's going to tackle that place head on. When you dislodge the base where feeds all other areas itself, you see that at the end of the day, most of them will be on the run. Most of them will be forced to relocate itself. So around that area, even to that down below, that is the major place that will be tackled itself.
All right, let's talk about the issue of task force. Not too long ago, in fact, just to be very plain, the current administration of Dr. Alex Oti have time and again reiterated his commitments to ensure that touts are not seen disrupting the activities of Abians going about their business, and possibly that's the reason he instituted the Unified Task Force, which we hear will be about 6 zones, 2 in Umuahia, around 4 in Aban. I think they've already commenced activities. Tell us the activities of Umuahia North, your own role in helping them to curb the presence of touts and touting in Umuahia North precisely. What are your role in that aspect?
Well, the government of Umuahia North, under the leadership of Honorable High Chief Victor Ikeji, frowns at has zero tolerance for touting, thuggery, and all form of intimidation of businesses and motorists itself. We all know that the economy is already biting hard, so you will not even tolerate the fact of some individuals causing more hardship that already these people are going. It's not easy for now to even stay in business. So for him, it's like you said, it's harmonized. Now what they want to do is, we've had an history of where some individuals constitute themselves to government, go into business areas, parks itself, intimidate and extort money from motorists and traders. No, that is not gone. However, we know that parks, other parks, markets and whatever, these are some other revenue windows to the government. But however, the government is committed, the government at the local level is committed to doing this thing in a civil manner, without actually causing hardship or causing trouble to the motorists and as well as the traders. So for now, most of the personnel who are on the streets enforcing, some of them are from the local government. So what they are doing, they have been trained. The local government have trained some of these people and have asked them in what manner they go about this.
Are they working with the Unified Task Force, or they are working independently?
Now they're working with the Unified Task Force. The Unified Task Force is a team, jointly in collaboration with the DRS, Ministry of Local Government, and the local government, which the mayor also is involved. So it's a lot of discussions have gone into this, and that's why it's called harmonized. So they're all working together itself to ensure that they all explore the revenue windows that is due to government without actually having a multiple taxation on business people and motorists, as was done in time past.
How challenging has it been in terms of managing that? I'm talking about prior to the establishment of the Unified Task Force. How challenging was it for Umuahia North local government precisely to manage their activities? Because more often than not, you go to the street, you hear people complaining about harassment by those who are perceived to be touts. Has it been that challenging?
Mr. Wizzy, yes, it has been very challenging itself. Like I said, the mayor, High Chief Victor Ikeji, frowns at every activities that will cause hardship to businesses. His aim is to promote businesses within the state capital. So initially, most of the touts, those who have in Umuahia will attest to that, he has dealt with that touting head on. Several times we've gotten to involve the security agencies, gotten some people arrested, and he has several times even told most park operators and traders, when these people come alert the local government, when they come to extort you, exploit you. And over time we've done that in collaboration. The security agencies have been helpful. Whenever he has called upon them, they have in fact, he even himself has been on the street several times. In fact, on Monday, after expecting the shanty, we went to the street to ensure that these touts do not have a free day in the state capital. So it is zero tolerance to touting. The harmonized taxing system, tax force are working, and so far so good. I don't think we've gotten any complaint on their modus operandi. So if there is any way they're derailing, they will also be called to order.
Can one look at Umuahia North, because fortunately this is where the capital of the state is situated? Can you look at the state capital and say there are designated bus stops, or you could say parks here in the state? Does such thing exist? Where are they? Talking about the bus stops.
For now, like we said, there are bus stops, but over time, some of these motorists and even traders itself have converted every part of the capital city to a bus stop where they drop. Now, what the mayor did, fixing the capital city is not something that will just be done in a day. It has to start from somewhere. What he did, we issued an executive order banning the loading and offloading of passengers on major roads. Now, what he did, he said, fine, if he must drop, he gave them designated within. You can go into the streets, don't drop on the major roads so that you don't cause obstructions. Now, at the end of the day, what is happening at Ishi Gate there, that place will go. Definitely, that market there, that park will go. That's the essence why, if that shanty is pulled up, like I said, it's not going to be light to waste. That Okigwe park will be extended. The park will be broadened. So most of these places, these motorists, those people loading along the road, dropping passengers, they will have to move into the park and offload itself. But however, what he's considering, why do you see that if not dislodge what he's doing there now? Like I said, he's very mindful of the economic condition. You must provide an alternative for people before you actually dislodge them from there. So what is going to happen is, over time, bus stops will be created. It's going to be a holistic approach to ensure that we have a serene capital city, where when you're coming into Umuahia, you know that this is actually a state capital, not a very disorganized or disjointed as we've always had.
Let's stay with the issue of motorists, the activities as well. This particular one is concerning. I'm talking about random parking of vehicles on the road. I don't know if that is something the local government is looking at checkmating and trying to solve such problem, because that is equally a potential for an accident or something close to that. And on the other hand, there are people who go about harvesting number plates from these vehicles. Are they from Umuahia North? Are they people designated to do such?
Like I said, now we've had an harmonized tax force itself. Prior to this time itself, we gave an executive order. That's before the coming of this harmonized tax force, banning people from offloading and loading passengers. You see people will just drop in the middle of the road. Sometimes sometimes it's insane, it's crazy. Why somebody will just drop in the middle of the road without considering an oncoming vehicle? So at the time itself, there was an enforcement, but for now, those people have been disbanded. the only people who are now authorized to operate is the Harmonized Task Force itself. So when you do, you will you be accosted itself. Sometimes why you see people are vesting number plates, the idea behind it is you see somebody who just park in the middle of the road and go. So there must be punitive actions for people.
So those persons who were doing that were from the local government?
No, at a time, there are times where when they did it, there are people who were designated who were doing it. But at a time, we had cases of where talks had a free day, which I said, most of them were arrested. We had to arrest some of them. People constituted themselves into government. So that was not the idea behind it. So we are happy. We subscribe fully to this Harmonized Task Force itself coming on board. So anybody who goes contrary to that, you are actually breaking the law. And like I said, the government will come hard on you.
If you're just tuning in, it is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, and on the program this morning we have been the torchlight on Umuahia North local government, what they are doing basically to checkmate the issue of touting, harassment, criminality, and of course, because they are fortunate to be housing the state capital, what they are doing to bring about sanity, where you can go about your businesses without looking over your shoulders. And I have with me in the studio Ugochukwu Elowa, who's the Chief Press Secretary to the Mayor Umuahia North. We are due for a short break. When we return, we will continue the conversation, and of course at the back end we will open the phone lines. If you have your contribution to make, or you perhaps have questions to ask or mind-boggling things to say, you could possibly go ahead in a civilized manner to air your view. All right, stay with us. Thank you for staying with the flow of God's own state. We are down the stretch on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, and only to reiterate, we're looking at Umuahia North local government area, what they are really doing to banish the presence of criminality, including checkmate the activities of touts, and give those who are going about their businesses that leeway to do their thing, and of course contribute to the economic development of the state, which of course will rub off on every person affiliated to the state. And so far in the program we've been having a chat with Tochukwu Elowa, who is the Chief Press Secretary to the Mayor Umuahia North. Thank you for staying around, Tochukwu.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's look at another aspect of what we see almost on daily basis. This one has to do with KK drivers, whereas we can agree that criminal activities or incidents happening in that aspect have dwindled. I'm talking about perpetrated using keke napeps. But on the other hand, what is being done to equally look at them and ensure that it is not the case, maybe underreported or happening in sprinkles across the state capital?
Well, for the keke operators itself, like I said, for in Umuahia, you said criminality have dwindled. Yes, you cannot take away the effort the local government has put in. The local government has had a very robust and cordial relationship with the various security formation, from the army, the police, civil defense, and several, from time to time the mayor has had interaction with most of them to ensure that security in Umuahia itself. And before we came in, I'm sure you know, there were several cases of people who were kidnapped using keke and thereabouts. So he swung into action. He has constantly engaged the various security agencies to ensure that whether the commercial motor, keke, tricycle, and the rest of them are no longer safe havens. And one thing, this when a modern park is also achieved now, we're going to have and one thing the mayor did when he came in, motorist itself, he emphasized the essence of a union, so that people will be able to identify who are infiltrators, people who are not commercial tricycle riders. He was able to do that, engage their various unions and itself. So they also, with that joint collaboration, they were able to fish out those who are not members and itself. So when something happens, we know those to hold accountable. With this policy of his and his constant engagement with security agencies, I think it's paying off. It's paying off, and we are seeing it. It's paying off. That's kidnapping, theft, using tricycle within the state capital is reducing, and with the coming of a park itself, where there will be designated park for these people to load and offload passengers, and I'm sure it's going to further reduce drastically.
Now, part of the promises made by the Abia State Governor while he was still vying for this hallowed seat was the fact that, in fact, it was notable across the board. Most of them were describing Umuahia as a glorified village, and for various reasons, one which is tenable or not. But looking at the state, some of the gutters are nothing to write home about, and we know we've had talks about desilting the gutters. Let's find out, is the local government doing anything about it? And how about closed gutters, where, I mean, when it rains, it wouldn't have to flood it with all those things which could constitute nuisance, and the aspect of covering them and then throwing up water on the major roads. Any of these things in the offing?
Mr. Wizi, first we have to appreciate what the local government mayor is doing. That's Honorable Chief Victor Ikeji. In terms of the silting itself, you could agree with me, for over 20 years now, you won't even know the drainages in certain roads within Umuahia itself. I've opened up the drainages of the major city, the major streets, roads within the state capital, starting from Umuahia, Uzakoli Road, Abat Macaulay, Fimbas, Obula for Aba Road, Bende. Major of these places have been opened up, and you see, like what you said, now there are places you will go. In fact, there are some places where the debris have taken over of this drainage. You won't even know there was a drainage there. Fair coast comfortable ride on them. It was as bad as that. We've published, there are pictures, pictorial evidences, see what we've done so far. We evacuated, and one thing we've done is that we didn't just only evacuate, we didn't just remove the debris from the drainages, we also evacuated them. We brought in tippers and they are moving off. And the mayor also frowned at, if you see, some people even had to cast permanent slabs on these drainages, thereby making it very difficult for these drainages to be cleaned up. Now, these drainages, what we are doing now is not just a one-off thing. It's going to be a constant effort. So we have said it now. Now what we intend to introduce, we want to introduce this iron bar, drainages with iron bar itself, that are transparent itself, so that you'll be able to see what goes into the gutter. Why if water flows within the iron bar, it can go into the drainages, and you'll be able to see when it's dirty, and when it's dirty, you can easily remove when you want to clean it. So in this effort, it achieves two things. You constantly ensure that the drainages are clean, and also aid those people who are cleaning the drainages. It makes it seamless. So that idea of casting permanent slabs and thereabout, no, it actually defeats that purpose. You see that, like, while we're on the field, we saw most people casted that permanent. That place is permanently blocked itself. You can agree with me now. The testimonies are there. In the state capital now, when it rains, and mainly it stops, you see that the place becomes dry off. People complained about the mosquito bites and itself as a lot of most times stagnant drainage system. That has reduced itself, and more in the offering. Like we said, we visited almost every part of the city.
Okay, let's talk about reorientation, because obviously it's laid bare what the state government, and in line with your principle, is doing to ensure that the roads are fixed, those of them that would require reconstruction, those that requires construction, and all hands appear to be on the deck. However, if you don't get to talk to the people in terms of trying to convince them that these things they do, there are those who, I mean, when it rains, that's when they dispose of their refuse. They throw them into the gutters, and that constitutes a problem here, one place or the other. What is the local government doing in terms of reaching out to the people? For sure, not everyone listens to radio, but is the local government thinking of reaching out to the people, talking to them, trying to inform them and make them shift in terms of attitude of doing the right thing, disposing the refuse where it should be disposed?
Mr. Wizi, if you know the person of the mayor, is not an armchair leader who sits at the comfort of his office and expect things to be done. He's likely a kind of leader who goes out, who is on the streets. Now, in course of desilting these various drainages, the mayor himself has been on the streets. Now, apart from using the media houses, like you've rightly pointed out, we are actually, himself and the team is out on the streets, engaging. We are going to the motor parks, going to the various streets, and telling people itself the dangers of actually disposing of their refuse into the drainages. At the end of the day, it becomes blocked, and the first people that will be affected are themselves, the residents around that area, because when it floods, you will not have access to your homes, you will not have access to your business premises itself. So we are, the major is leading this charge on the orientation, going into major parks, going into streets, and into residential areas. Apart from when he does it, there is also a team. Is
it ongoing, or it's still going through processes
it's ongoing. It's not even, it's ongoing. The sensitization is ongoing. As the work is ongoing, it goes along with sensitization, because we understand, the mayor understands that if you do, after you spend resources to have done this, and the culture of people restraining, knowing what to do, if you don't, people don't imbibe that culture, every effort you put will go to waste. So it's still ongoing, and it will continue. It's not stopping anytime soon. We know and understand that sometimes people could be stubborn, people could be resistant to positive change. So, but you need to constantly engage them. So that's what we are doing. We are using every avenue possible to reorientate the mindset of people. For what is happening now, for people, some of them is change, is new. There are people, okay, imagine for like 20 years, there are people who even came into the city before that. They don't even know that this was drainage before now. So it was just a norm for them. So we understand, some of them, it will take them time to adjust. So that's why we are constantly engaging them, so that they understand the dangers of actually blocking the drainages itself. At the end of the day, we're all going to suffer for it, and it will do nobody any good. So that is the message we are trying to inculcate in most of the residents, business operators within this area. Let's keep our city clean, serene, for the betterment of everybody. Umuahia people are Israel.
Just playing the devil's advocate, in the event that these persons who are constantly being engaged, who have been preached through the good news of the current administration and the mayor of Umuahia North local government area to avoid desist from blocking the drainages, and they don't appear to be on the same page, what then could be the case?
If you actually, it's an offense for itself for you to obstruct waterways or drainages. So constantly, like for now, we are engaging them. We're actually advocating for people to imbibe that culture of desisting from throwing their refuse and waste into the drainages. But if that continues, definitely punitive actions will be taken against those people who explore the option of using illegal means. Maybe probably some will be prosecuted, and I think that may serve as a deterrent for others. But for now, since we just started the job, we are still at the point of engaging, and some people are turning a leaf, although we've seen those people who are stubborn itself. We are constantly engaging them, but for now it has not gotten to the point where we can manage. But when it gets to that point, definitely punitive actions will be taken to ensure that it serves as a deterrent to others.
That is from Tochukwelo, our Chief Press Secretary, to the Mayor Umuahia North. Let's get you involved in the conversation. I'm very certain you followed through from the get-go, and you have your own contribution as well as your question at this point. 0808182649 or 0811-6052949. Send us a message to 090-651-08289. We are live on Facebook, facebook.com/Flu949FM. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Wizzy.
Thank you for joining us. Kindly tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Mr. Chijoke from Bende Road is my name.
Go ahead.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Secretary.
Good morning, Mr. Chief.
Thank you, sir. I just want to commend you for the way you analyze some issues that concern Abia State and Umuahia North. I believe we are talking about how to develop Abia State. We are not talking about only Umuahia North or any other thing. So I commend you, sir. I want to say that Governor Alex Choma Oti has vision to develop Abia State, and he has been saying it since 2015, and Adjans later gave him this opportunity. I want to beg every DC chairman, because I believe that you have been appointed as a DC chairman. It's a very big opportunity to prove yourself to the governor and the and Akians. So I am begging every one of you to follow the vision of the governor. Whatever thing we can do to develop Abia State and to touch the masses, I believe is a good thing. So I am begging those that are yet to start work, those DC chairmen, let them follow suit. Otherwise, I believe our governor is following all of them. And whoever that fails to prove himself, governor will show him way out. I want to commend Umuahia North DC chairman. And also I am begging others to follow the same way.
Thank you for your contribution. Remember that others queuing to be part of the conversation. Good morning. Move away from your radio set, okay?
Thank you, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, I'm calling from Umuahia.
You're welcome.
Yes, I want to salute the gentleman you were talking with. I think the chief of staff to the mayor of Umuahia North. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Wow. It's actually chief press secretary, not chief of staff.
Okay, sorry, chief press secretary. Let me use this opportunity to commend tremendously the mayor of Umuahia North, at least for opening up all those gutters. There are places I never dreamt of that would have drainage in this Umuahia town, but they have been opened up. And it's a very big task and a very big project which they have undertook, which we can never take for granted. So please salute your order for me. He has done a noble job on that area.
Thank you very
much.
Now,
yes, you talked about getting an iron, what is it called, a staff. Do it in such a way that these crap people will not make away with it, because it has been their way. I know a lot of people did such things, but it never lasted. So people came and cut them away. So do it in such a way that nobody will tamper with it. Okay. Now let me just take the issue of hello, can you hear me?
Yes, be swift.
Okay, the issue of Apple in Michigan. I know you are trying your best, but there are a whole lot of people who I see as instigators that are going with Umuahia North Airport, terrorizing people in that city. Please, you need to look into that very area. It is bringing a bad and it is a dent on the image of the government. Try and sanitize those people who are collecting revenue for you people. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your contribution. Let's take another call before we hear from the Chief Press Secretary to the Umuahia North Mayor. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. You're live. I'm okay. How about you?
I'm alright. Good morning. I'm in the house. Good morning, sir.
Go ahead.
I remember Mr. Prince Felicia from the I don't know whether you're letting me clearly.
Yes, we can. Just go ahead.
Alright. Alright. In as much as because the mayor has been enumerated things they've been doing and about to be done, I thank him on that. His clear explanation of what he has been doing. May God bless him. My little question to him is this: he has inconstant what we call traffic and other people that are chasing motorists in other states, particularly in the Umuahia. As a mayor of Umuahia, what are your contributions towards this unnecessary what I call these people now, the unnecessary traffic correct that we have in Umuahia as a result of your men being chasing vehicles here and there? What can you do and what effort are you making to checkmate such an act? These are my things. May God bless you.
Thank you for your question. I'm sure he heard you clearly. I'm talking about the Chief Press Secretary to the Mayor of Umuahia North, Tochukweluwa. All right. So.
Okay, I think the first and the second question are mostly related. Is around the issue of touting. The harmonized task force just started working barely some days ago, and like I said before even this task force started working itself, we've made efforts. There are people who have decided to constitute themselves into government. When such have been brought to our notice, we've not treated with kid gloves. The mayor has swung into action. There are people who have been arrested itself. This government is collective. It's a teamwork. Both the governor and the governed must get involved. Our offices are open. Our numbers are always open. If you see touts, maybe unauthorized persons extorting traders and motorists, probably around that Ishigate area, you could always feel free to call our attention to it. And you can be sure the mayor, in his usual manner, will not let it slide. He will take actions itself. Like we have keyed into the division of His Excellency Dr. Alex Oti to ensure that we don't make life harder for the people of Abianza, especially Umuahia North. So for those people who have made it a stock in trade to extort people within the state capital, you should be rest assured that the government, under the leadership of High Chief Victor Ikeji, will not treat with kid gloves. So once it's brought to our notice and once we cite them, and one thing the mayor does is, from time to time, he goes out to enforce some of these policies of government personally. Like on Monday, like I said, it was on the street. Last week, he was on the street. So anytime there are several times where we see some of those people, we arrest them. We don't just let them go. We arrest them, and you're sure that such effort will continue. And like I said too, for the people of Umuahia North and its environs, when you see such individuals, please don't fail to call our attention to it. Okay. And you're sure we will react.
Let's take more reactions. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us your name and where you are calling us.
My name is Chineye. I'm calling from Umuahia.
Okay. Chineye, go ahead.
Good morning, sir. I'm greeting the guests. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Miss Chineye.
Okay, sir. I'm commending the mayor of the Umuahia North local government. He's one of the best mayor among the 17 local government mayors. He's trying. He keep on to his years. Then I was just surprised. Last week I saw the mayor on the street, parading what is going on in the town. Unlike our own mayor in the Sukata local government, I want him to emulate what the mayor of Umuahia North is doing. I'm surprised when I saw the man moving on the street. I did not even have time to move. He did not even have the distance to even listen to people. Please, I'm advising him to follow the good step of other mayors, what they are doing. And I'm also using this platform to tell all other mayors that any mayor that don't want to work, that the government, they should not even take it as a room for them just to come and make money. They should just emulate other mayors. Example, that of Umuahia North is excellent. Number one, if I'm to grade him, I will give him A1. He's trying. Umuahia people are proud of him. Okay. In the issue of staff, okay. If he don't relax, the mayor will know what people will know my estate. If he don't relax, the mayor will put eyes in what is going on there. Okay. That of his people at his own village. Okay. See nothing.
Thank you, Chineye. Thank you very much for your contribution. Simply leveraging the platform to urge your own mayor to borrow a leaf from what is happening in Umuahia. Phone line still open, 08081826949. 0811605249. A couple of calls and we'll call time on the program. Let's look at some of the reactions on our Facebook. This is coming from Kings Ebere. He said, please, Umuahia North Mayor should never underestimate the sledgehammer of His Excellency Governor Alex Oti, because if he fails to represent the governor in good character, he should expect the exit door. He said also those Agbo at Isigate is putting his job at stake. That's according to Kings Ebere. He will respond in time. Also, Francis Inamani on Facebook is saying he's watching us really from Amagunze in Enugu State. He said, good morning, my people, and thank God it's Friday. He said, keep up your good work. Back to the phone lines. Let's get your reaction. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Move away from your radio set if you don't mind.
Good morning.
Good morning. Great. Go ahead. Hello? Are you with us? Are we against us? Okay, do call back 0808-1826-949 or 0811-605-2949. Good morning. The network appears to be iffy. You could send us a text message 0906510829. Get involved in the conversation. This is the opportunity for you to vent. Not much later, you would be all over the place on social media. Okay, let's get the reaction of Machuku Kennedy Chinedu. He said he's writing us from Umuahia Umuahia, and he's saying, good morning everyone in the studio. Firstly, I must commend our governor for choosing competency and technocrats in his government. Hope he's highly commendable and applaudable. And he said for the Umuahia North Mayor, he said it's no longer news that the mayor has done marvelously well, and is urging other mayors to follow suit. Back to the phone lines. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining
I am
us.
pleased to be alive this day, and I know you are too.
Go ahead.
All glory go to the Most High. I am grateful for all the programs, all the efforts you people are making to enlighten us. It's just the reason why I am phoning.
Okay.
Whatever we do in this life, we will get the reward. Governor Oki is a blessed man. He is a blessing to humanity, not only to Abian. He has been struggling to take that seat. I am praying that the Almighty God gives him faith strong and gives him longevity to continue.
Okay.
Even after
Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you. 0808-1826949 or 0811-605-2949. Let's get your reaction in terms of those we've received so far. That of Kings Ebere, including that of Machuku Kennedy, not writing of Ozo Francis Naman. I'm sure you've read through yourself.
All right. For the reaction from Mr. Kings Ebere, the governor, I rightly pointed out, the mayor himself is not insensitive to the plight of the people and the issue of Agbero itself. Like we've said, for now, there is a unified task force, and the task force from the day one when he released his policy brief, he said he's out to work, and I'm sure from the last day in office and every day we're in office, we will make it count. It's going to be work. At the end of the day, we are keen into the vision of His Excellency Dr. Alex Oti to ensure a better Abia, which will be cascaded to Umuahia North, to ensure that the people are better off, to ensure that the people enjoy the dividends of democracy. This is a commitment of the government under the of Umuahia North, under the leadership of Honorable High Chief Victor Ikeji.
Okay, a couple of more calls and we will leave the studio. It appears we've done justice to the subject of discourse on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. However, you still have the ample opportunity to get involved in the conversation. 0818-26949 or 0811-605-2949. Okay, let's take this one. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Thank you. May we meet you? Go ahead.
Yes, I want to talk about this area. I've talked about it several times. I want that road. Because
Pardon?
And this came and this form.
Are you with me? Are you with me? If you don't mind, recap, because that wasn't clear enough. I mean, the place you pointed out. Are you there?
Hello, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I'm saying you should recap. We appear to have lost out in the place you mentioned. You know, it's good to be very specific.
Okay, so we are still doing the review.
Okay.
I want to
The network is not helping.
I think I had him.
I don't know. Are you still there? Just change your location if you are there. Just move away from where you are. We are struggling with the network. Okay, that got away. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, please, mine is a request.
Go ahead.
Yes, it's concerning this dumping of waste. This time, they say for the dumping of waste. Some of us are living in a rural area that doesn't have the bucket, and they say that the time for dumping of waste should be from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. And after that time, we might not be able to come out at the other area to dump this waste. Please, can the time be extended so that we'll be free to dump it whenever we come to the town without anybody harassing us?
Okay, thank you for your question. He's going to respond possibly last act. Good morning.
Good morning, Sir Wizzy.
Good morning to you. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Kadeta Nobona. I am looking out from Umuahia in the LG of the State. I want to commend the other state governor and other state government for the quality leadership I've been observing, for using visionary leaders, at the local government level. I was opportune to visit Umuahia a couple of weeks ago, and
That's the network, if you can, but I doubt if we have such time. Blythe Henry, Harry, you say, good morning, sir. Please, what is the mayor doing about the potholes in the city center? I'm coming back to the chief press secretary to Umuahia North Mayor. Final act, the reaction to the previous caller and that one on Facebook.
Okay, first, let me start from the lady that just spoke with regards to those in the rural areas getting their refuse. This is one of the reasons why we're here, for feedback itself. We are going to discuss with the relevant agencies and see how those interests will be covered itself. While we are doing it, we are not going to undermine the safety of those residing in the city center itself. Like we said, we will not what the government will not tolerate is indiscriminate disposal of waste. So, but however, for those people who stay far from the designated areas where they are supposed to dump refuse, that will be looked into. Then the issue of potholes itself, the governor himself has actually flagged Operation Zero Potholes itself, and the Ministry of Works is actually working itself. For those other places that have been cut open, we are sure, just like we saw before, they will be filled itself. So it's a matter of time. Why the governor, the mayor is also complementing opening up rural roads as well, and the 12 wards of the local government that is under its jurisdiction itself. But one thing is that we must understand is that these things is in phases itself. To get to every area, that it has not gotten to your particular location now does not mean it will not get there. It is in phases, but you can rest assured that developmental effort will cut across board.
Well, you've had it from the chief press secretary to the Umuahia North Mayor. Thank you, Tochukwu Eluwa, for coming on the platform this morning. It's been a pleasurable experience having a chat with you on what's happening in your local government.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wizzy. I also want to thank, I'm not alone in the studio. Actually, I came with one of the principal officers of the mayor, who is the director of protocol, Honorable Rex Ihanyobago. For the mayor, it has been a team effort itself, and we are happy for your feedbacks. You could be rest assured that we don't take these feedbacks for granted. We're going to work on them, and with the aim of actually serving you better. The mayor from the D1 have said it, and in line with the vision of His Excellency Dr. Alex Oti, a new Abia is there, a new Umuahia is there, and we'll constantly engage the people of Umuahia North to understand their concerns and with the aim of addressing them. But what we plead for you is that you keep supporting the administration of Dr. Alex Oti and Honorable IG Victor Ikiji for the betterment of all Umuahians and Abias in general.
Let me appreciate my producer Samson Eze for your effort, including Charles and Stanko, who are behind the visuals on Facebook. But this is where we will drop the anchor on the program, the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, where we look at issues which has to do with you and of course every one of us. It will make a return same time, same station on Monday, Wednesday, and of course on Friday, a week today. Have an amazing weekend. My name is Wisdom Thomas. Let's continue to contribute our quota to make the state a better